Today in the pickup review series, we're going to be checking out the DiMarzio Fortitude pickup. Co-designed with the guitar player Gojira, this pickup is the most versatile pickup I've ever played, and I have to tell you, I love it. Now, DiMarzio sent this pickup to me, and I fell in love with it so much, I asked for a second. And then I love those so much, I bought 2 other sets, and I'm using them in both bridge and neck position like I'm going to show you today. Now, of course, before we get started, let me give you a little background on the pickup. It is a vintage output pickup. What that means is it's a lower output pickup. This is definitely going to be in the PAF territory, the PAF territory. So it's not a high output pickup. That's confusing for a lot of players because if you're a fan of Gojira, you're thinking, hey, heavy tones. However, that's not typical. Think about the band Korn. They use PAFs or PAFs, DiMarzio PAFs pickups in their guitars as well. A lot of players that use a lot of gain will actually back off not using a hotter pickup because they don't need to push the amp. The amp can create its own distortion, and the lower output pickups give more clarity. So in this case, this is a PAF style pickup that has a lot more low end response. Now, if you're familiar with those style pickups, the patent applied force pickups, you know a lot of times they have a lot of what I call the V kind of EQing to them, a little high, a little bright, and a little low. And these don't have that. Even though they're tuned more to have more low end frequency, they're really blended perfectly. I'm going to show you. The other thing I want to point out is their Alnico 5 magnets, one of my favorite magnets for humbuckers. The other thing I wanted to show you is I asked DiMarzio if they would send me one of their colored bobbin pickups, and I picked blue and pink, and the reason is because I always think it's cool to remind players out there, especially viewers of the channel, that if you go to DiMarzio's website, you can custom order a pickup in any kind of color combination. You're not just stuck with blue or anything that you've seen online. You can actually custom all kinds of color combinations and do something crazy. So let's start with some sounds. We're gonna start with the neck pickup because up on my clean sound, I'm running a Fender 65 Deluxe Reverb with a Jensen speaker in it. And we're gonna go ahead and just give you the clean sound with a little bit of reverb. And this is the full humbucker on the neck. It's just a beautiful sounding pickup. Now, of course, it has coil split. It's a 4-conductor wire. You can wire it to coil split. Here is coil split. Now, again, something interesting about this coil split, the way it's voiced, is that when you play those chords, they sound nice and full, but then go into single notes. The notes are there. They don't just get really thin and they're lost in the in that space. So very nice. Now, of course, go back to that humbucker. A lot fuller, of course, because now you got the full humbucker going. One thing I gotta say about this pickup is tons of sustain for a clean channel. I love it. I mean, it's just a really balanced pickup. Now, when you go to that bridge, now again, keep in mind these are the same pickup, they just look dramatically different. Here it is in the bridge. I know some of you guys probably want to hear what the coil split sounds like on the bridge. So let me swap the pickups. Like I said, I wired one of these to coil split, one of these not to. So now we're on the bridge. We're back to the 65 Deluxe Reverb. The other thing I like about these pickups is, you know, I've done a ton of reviews of all kinds of pickups, and one of the pickups I really liked were the Thornbuckers, the Pete Thorn pickups. Those have this really chimey overtones, and these pickups are in that realm. In fact, I would highly recommend these pickups to anyone who liked the Thornbuckers but wanted just a little bit more fullness in the mids and a little bit more kind of a punch from those pickups. And again, not punch because it's a higher output pickup, just a little bit more, I don't know, dynamic push on the amp itself. Let's go ahead and go to the middle. What I find myself wanting to do is strum like acoustically on this. So now what I've done is I hooked it up to an Engl Fireball 25, run into a 212 vintage 30 cabinet. And one of the things I love about this pickup with a lot of gain, or even a medium amount of gain, is this just infinite sustain kind of feeling. Let me go ahead and show you right now. Here it goes. Okay, so now what I have is I have it plugged into a Friedman Dirty Shirley. This is a 20-watt amp running into a 212 cabinet with vintage 30s. So there you have it. Those are the Fortitude pickups, or I should say the Fortitude pickup by DiMarzio Pickups. Like I said, you could put it in bridge or in neck, even though they only mark them for bridge. I have seriously tried all the different variations of this, and like I said, I think a lot of you will be pleasantly happy with it in the bridge with the PAF and the neck. But although I like that, I like this a little bit more. Stick both in both positions. Why not? You get a little bit more kick. As always, it doesn't matter how much a piece of gear costs. It just matters that you learn to use it and make music with it. Till the next time, know your gear.